twisted shape of the star that I made, so I don't have to worry about anything. But now over here, when I do minus front, it goes back to the original shape of the star, so it doesn't keep the twist that I have. So it's very inconsistent, you know. So sometimes you have to figure out prepare ahead of time for what's going to happen, so you can create some kind of workaround. Okay, so here now I'm going to intersect. So where the space is intersected at, it kept the shape of the yellow star. So now I'm going to exclude. Now here it excluded the background shape, and it's the reverse of the intersect shape, as you can see here. And again, it's keeping the twists of the star that I had. Now here we're going to go to divide. And now here we got kind of a combination, because it's keeping the shape of the original star, but it also is keeping the twist that I had. So you can see that here in the blue section. So if this was dividing the way I wanted it to, the yellows would line up. All right. So again, I'm showing you this to show like some of the little things that happen. I mean, you can do a regular star yourself and see how that works, and it will work normally. But this could be something that you want. So if you know these things exist, then you can plan for them ahead of time. And you know, here's trim. So again, it trimmed out the front, it trimmed out the back object, but where the star was, it kept some of that there, where the original star was, so you can see that. Okay, so now let's merge. And you kind of have the same thing here with the merging, so then the same thing kind of happened. Crop. So it cropped out the front object. Now this is, let me show you what should happen when it's cropping. Let's have a star. And fill that. And let me create a red circle. Oops, there's my red circle. Okay. Now I'm going to put that to the back. And now select the two. And I want crop. Okay, so now that's the difference between what should happen and what did happen when I had this transformation effect. Okay, so this is almost like creating a clipping mask. And put that over there for now. And outline, and that pretty much does exactly what it does. It creates an outline, which again was an unintended effect here. So it's going back to the original shape. And now we go to minus back. So red was the back, so I got rid of the back and just left what was yellow on front. Okay, so that's the Pathfinder tool. Okay, so that completes Pathfinder. Now I'm going to show you offset paths. Now I have talked to you about offset paths before, but I want to show you something a little bit different that you can do with offset paths, or something where you may find some creative options to use with offset paths. So let me open well, first let me show you real quickly, because I showed you how to do it in the appearance window. Let me show you how to do it just from a window. Okay, make sure I'm on a stroke here. Okay, let me get a larger stroke, make a circle. Okay, and then without going to the appearance window, go to Object, Path, Offset Path, and 120 is fine. And you can see, you know, that you can offset path there. Okay, so that's the standard way to do it, and what you would normally expect to happen. And as I said, when you combine an effect, some unexpected things can happen. So now I'm going to offset this path. And it's 120 point. And now you get this kind of little design effect happening, which I think is pretty cool. Let me show you something else. So Now here's something I didn't show you before, where these things join. You can change that. So that was miter. So this is round. And you can see you get this nice decorative design around it. Okay. And go again to offset path. And now change round to bevel. And you get kind of the similar effect, a little bit different. Okay, now let's see what happens when we use the polar grid. So this is the polar circle, this is the polar rectangle. So let's see what's happening when we use offset path on that. So we'll start with bevel. So you see it's kind of pulling out the vertical and pulling out the horizontal and the vertical here. And it's always good to play around with the things. I mean, because I was just playing around and found this, so I'm sharing it with you. So again, you can get some very cool effects and some happy accidents, just by playing around with the stuff and not expecting like this 1, 2, 3, this is the way it works. Play around with it, find out how it works. Okay, and again, a similar thing. All right, so that's all I want to show you. Offset paths is something fun, a little different thing that you can do with that. All right, so let me check off offset pass, and now let's go to clip and mask. Okay, so now I have two items on the same, these are all on the same layer. The clip and mask work when both objects are combined together. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the same layer, but you're going to select them eventually, so might as well keep them on the same layer. Okay, so now this is type. So you see, that is type. This up above is a shape. Oops. And deselect the type. And this is a shape. A shape up here. Alright, so let me show you what happens when you clip and mask with type and with a shape. So if I select the two items here, go to Object, Clip and Mask, and Make. So it creates a clip and mask under the photograph there with the type. And also my type remains editable. And the mask adjusts along with it. Okay, so now let me show you what happens when I do it with shape. So select the photograph and the shape. Okay, so as you can see, nothing happens because I got too many shapes. You can't do it with all these shapes. Even though they're grouped, it won't work. So if I click one shape, well, I have to ungroup the type, click one shape, click the photo, then create my clip and mask, and now I got it to work. But hey, that's not really what I want, because maybe you manipulated the type, you already created this thing, so you want everything there. So the long way would be to go one by one with each letter and create the photo 4 times. But let me show you a different way. Well, let me explain a different way and show you the result. Because what I did was that I created 2 layers of this, and then on one layer I just kept the O and selected that, and then on the second layer I moved this up, the type layer up here, and then I created my clip and mask on that. So one clip and mask, I created 2 clip and masks, one on 2 layers, one with just the O and one with the type. And this is the result. It's fast for me to show you the result. So again, so you see if I had something, that I manipulated the type want, and I didn't want, it's not type anymore. So I need to be able to do that. So here I'll show you so that's the type layer, and this is the layer with just the O. So I created 2 different layers and did that. So that's clip and mask. So I'm showing you the limitations of the clip and mask. Alright, so with shapes by itself is fine, with type by itself is fine, but when you want to try to combine the two, you're going to have to do a little bit of a workaround. Now pay attention, because this is something you're going to have to use in your homework and we're going to get to your homework right now. So for your homework for this lesson, I've changed it up a little bit. I've kept the training wheels on for a long time now. So now, instead of just recreating something that I've shown you, I want you to do the creation. So I've started you off with illustration, but it's all in line, and you have to do the stuff. So follow the instructions, and you may have to create some layers. Remember, so if you were sleeping and you wandered off, that's a little tip for how to complete this assignment successfully, because you can't do it all on one layer. All right, and you may have to make different things. Remember what I told you about combining different effects. Sometimes it doesn't work, so you have to do some workarounds. So this homework assignment, you're really going to have to work a little bit. Put your thinking cap on. All right, so that completes our lessons on effects. I hope it was enjoyable and that you got something out of it. And I think this homework assignment will be really challenging to you. So if you don't get it the first time, don't give up. Just go through things one by one, review the lesson, and it should all be clear to you. All right, so now training wheels are off. Let's see what you can do, because again, you don't want to get this 1, 2, 3, this is how it's done. You want to put some thinking and creativity into it. All right, so with that said, that completes our lesson for effects for today. So go out and just create.